Overnight, the multi-state manhunt for the suspected shooter behind the death of 18 people in Maine intensified.
Several search warrants have been executed, but so far no arrests have been made, leaving thousands under a shelter-in-place order in and around Lewiston. And that's where we find NBC's Alice Barr for us this morning. And Alice, we know that the city is still in shock after all this, but is there still a lot of fear?
There's no question about that. You know, neighbors in this whole area are being urged to stay home. And as a result of that, really the only activity you're seeing is going to be here at this hospital, the life-saving efforts for the survivors and the intense search for the man who shot them.
An urgent manhunt by flashlight overnight as law enforcement surrounded the last known address of suspected mass murderer Robert Card. It's just one area of intense focus, and until he's found, tens of thousands remain under shelter-in-place orders.
Please stay at home and be safe.
Multiple victims for an active shooter in the town of Lewiston.
Card is suspected of killing at least 18 people and injuring 13 more in a Lewiston bowling alley and a nearby restaurant and bar. Survivors describing the terror.
I just booked it down the lane, and I slid basically into where the pins are and climbed up in the machine and was on top of the machines for about 10 minutes until the cops got there.
Grief-stricken families can't begin to describe the loss.
The world lost a great girl, and I lost a precious daughter.
A family member of the 40-year-old suspect says he struggled recently with acute mental health issues. Card is a longtime Army reservist, and officials tell NBC News he threatened a military base and was sent by his own commanders to a mental health facility in July.
That the yellow flag law should have been triggered.
Authorities looking into why he still had possession of an assault-style rifle, as the community reels from Maine's worst mass murder in history. The number of homicides in a single night approaching what the state usually sees in a year. Now a lifetime of heartbreak for each victim taken.
And as investigators look for a motive, they may have one significant clue. Multiple law enforcement sources telling NBC News there was a note found at the suspect's home. They are analyzing that to see how it could direct their investigation. Maureen and Carmen.
Alice, is there any reason he targeted these locations?
The one other thread, aside from the note that we've learned that investigators are looking into, is the possibility that the bar and restaurant that he targeted may have been specifically one he was looking at because a woman acquaintance used to go there. But that's a lot still to be sort of fleshed out on that possibility.
Right. All right. Alice Barr live for us. Thank you so much for the update. And coming up on the Today Show, the father of the bar manager who was killed in the shooting is speaking out. We first brought you a heartbreaking moment from Leroy Walker yesterday morning, talking about how he just knew his son Joey Walker had died. Well, now he's sitting down with NBC's Lester Holt, saying his son died a hero.
He died as a hero because he picked up a butcher knife from somewhere, as you know, he has all that stuff near the bar anyways. And he tried to go at the gunman to stop him from shooting anybody else. The gunman shot him twice through the stomach.
Gosh, he is just absolutely heartbreaking to listen to. That interview is coming up at 7 a.m. right after Go.